No.
Rest up, bro. Give me rest. Give me the rest, people.
Okay. Then that's
This is Steve Harvey, and you're now watching the Don't Piss Me Off morning show.
Quite frankly, this is the best morning show I have ever heard. Let's make YouTube great again.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelly Corinne. I am back. I was out sick yesterday, but I am back. And you know the saying, when the cat's away, the mice will play. So let's see. Come on in. We got Paco the Great in the building. We got Maisha Stallings. Maisha, I always see you in the chat. What's going on, love? We got Raven Garnett, Toniqua, Silly Rabbit, Zoomer. I am feeling better, Raven. Thank you for asking. Yes, y'all come on in. I'm doing everything today. And I hope y'all will give me a little bit of grace and bear with me. Because this is not easy. It's not easy. Okay. All right. So, as you guys have seen, it's just me. No 2K, no Black. I'm going to cut up today. But anyway, I got some people. I'm going to bring them up. I have, let me see. I got a full house. Everybody's here. The gang's all here. Paco says, where's our cult leader? Look, he had some things to do this morning. And as the saying goes, the show will go on. But welcome back to the show. Nora, Christine, Gray Mars, how y'all doing? And we have Mac Mall from Not the Shop podcast. How you doing, everybody?
What's good? It's always a treat when real players meet. You dig?
I know that's right. How you doing, Nora? What's up, Gray?
How's it going?
I'm doing well this morning. I prepared the show. It was all on me, the graphics. So we will see how it goes with the guys, the fellas. They gave me some encouragement. And I think we're going to have a good show. And I think we have another guest pulling up later today. I hope Jazz can make it, but she's at the gym right now. So I hope she's able to make it. But without further ado, we're going to get into 2K's quote of the day. Because even though he's not here, it's technically Kelly Corinne's quote of the day, but it's my quote. But we're going to use his graphic. So the quote of the day is, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Let me see. Okay. So what do you guys think of the quote? Is that true? And we're going to do it popcorn style. Y'all can just go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree.
Okay. Gray, Nora?
The only way to do great work is to love what you do, because I feel like when it comes to being great, when you like doing something, you'll just automatically become the best and you'll automatically benefit off of it because of the consistency. When you like doing something, you're going to keep doing it and eventually you're going to crack the ice. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll quote Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan basically said that even if he didn't make it to the NBA, he would play basketball regardless. I do think that, if you love something, that you're going to do a great job because you love it. But I also think it's people who hate what they do that's actually the best at what they do. Because I do stuff all the time that I hate doing, but I put my best foot forward and everything.
Okay. I definitely think a majority of people have jobs that they're not too crazy about, but they still have a great work ethic. Maybe they're good at it. Maybe they're not great at it. Because I do agree with Mac Mall. If you love something, I just think you're going to put a little bit more to it. But then like you said, there are some people, they just, they're going to hustle. They may see the vision, they may not like what they're doing in the moment, but they see where they're going to be. So they still, put that grind in.
And money is a motivation too, though.
Facts.
Because if you don't like what you do, but you're getting compensated to do it, then, you'll just deal with it because you're well compensated. But I mean, all my life, I've always done what I like to do. And so like that's why I can attest to this so well, because you live stress free when you do what you want to do. When you make your way, you know what I'm saying? When you make your way, when you do what you like to do, you wake up in the morning. I had this talk with myself when I was in high school. I went in the mirror and I looked, I said, what you gonna do with yourself? What are you gonna do? What do you like to do? And I found something that I like to do. Wasn't making much money off of it then, but it ultimately turned around and saved my life. So
that's what's up.
and I still do it and I still like it. I'll be 45 in 30 days. I still look young.
Oh.
Happy early birthday, Mac Mall.
Happy early birthday.
Sure. Thank you.
That's great. Look, I'm just noticing in our chat, Raven, I never put your photo up. You are really beautiful, Raven. We have some of the best looking subscribers. I truly believe that. Shantae, Taisha, Stone Cold Foxes. But anyway, moving right along, we're going to get into this icebreaker. I saw this and I said, I definitely got to talk about this on the show because this was a doozy. Let me pull it up. Okay. So there was this lady cop, you guys, and she made a TikTok, and I'm going to play it and you guys let me know what you think. I thought it was in poor taste. But anyway, this was in Houston, Texas, and I'm going to have to mute it because they're playing some music, but the officer was, who's this lady? Yeah, it's on TMZ. Female Texas cop didn't get laid, so everyone is getting tickets. All right, let me see. Let me play it.
Don't stop, yeah, get it. Shake that shit, don't stop, her, get
Oh, wait. So can you read it? Did y'all see it?
Yeah, I see it, but that's not nothing new. Niggas been going to jail for years because the judge ain't getting none, or he into it with his wife, or she into it with her husband. That is not nothing new. They've been locking niggas up for years because they had a bad day. Police do it all the time, But a lot of times, black people give them the ammunition because we get up and you pull me over for it and all that kind of shit. He already going through something. You didn't piss the man off, but yeah, they've been doing that for years, man. That ain't nothing new.
I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to film in her uniform, though, because I have a friend that's a cop and they're very strict on that. That should be why I think she's under investigation. She's just stating the obvious, like Max said.
I think that people forget that these are normal people just because they have the uniform on. Like when I was younger, I dated a cop. She was actually internal affairs. I smoked around her and everything. She just was a regular person. So, I think that uniform makes people think that this isn't just a normal person anymore. But they're regular people too.
Man, women in law enforcement are not regular people. Them are men. I done dated a lot of women in law enforcement. They tough as hell. It's like they don't know when they didn't get off work.
I will say, I just think when you're in that uniform, there should come with a certain level of professionalism. I'm with you on that. Like, you can be a regular person, but when you're on the clock, you're on the clock, So I just feel like you're in that uniform. And really don't make jokes about writing people tickets either. Don't do that. People are good, especially with today's climate. People are looking. These police are under a microscope. But look, I got the phone lines open. Y'all can go ahead and I got to put it in the chat. If anybody wants to call in, give me a moment. Taisha, let me put the number in the chat, and Taisha, if you could drop it for everyone, if anybody wants to call in throughout the show, because 2K is not here, so we have to use my phone number. Okay, let me change that. All right, because I'm producing and everything. Yeah, I don't like it, lady. Be professional. Be professional. But if you are a police officer, let us know. Call in, because I don't know. I've seen other videos of officers in their uniforms making TikToks. They weren't joking about locking people up, but they definitely were making TikToks. So, I don't know. But I'd love to hear, from our callers. Y'all can go ahead and call in if you have anything to say. So I'm going to move right into the headlining story. And Gray, I know you had spoke about this on your channel, on the new party, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, most likely on
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, well, you can go ahead and introduce it. You know what happened with Sha'Carri getting arrested in the airport.
So they were in Seattle. Basically, she kept Christian Coleman over and over again. They were actually headed to Oregon for a track race. And if a lot of people don't know this, the headquarters for Nike is in Oregon. So basically, they were going there to compete to see who was going to be able to get into the Olympics. So she pushed him over and over again. He didn't do anything. And then the police came. He refused to be a victim, refused to press charges. So nothing happened to her.
Okay. And I have a clip too. Yeah, I got a clip of him actually speaking on the matter. And I got it all queued up. Oh, let me make it small. So this is from Citius Mag, Citius, Citius Mag. That is who was interviewing Christian Coleman, and this was after a race.
Personally, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she has like things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. So do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at like situations like this to just like, you know, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you could do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And like, and I hate the narrative too of just like, you know what I'm saying, it's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, it really was nothing I could do. And just like, I understood. But I mean, like I said, it was just a sucky situation, but she's a human being and a great person. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like we've been able to be like really good teammates like all year. And I hate that narrative too because, you know, us coming together, like we're just two like real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like I see it every day. And like, you know, for me in my process, like I just said, like moving training groups, a whole new environment, a whole new, you know what I'm saying, training setup, different than what I've been in the past, like, you know, 10 years of my, you know, track and field career, and transitioning and then still coming back running 9.8 and feeling like I got so much more to give, you know what I'm saying, like that's my path, that's my journey, and like being so up close and personal with her every day. And like I watched this girl like fall on the track like in February and walk it off like it was, you know what I'm saying, like a cramp, but get back up and have to take like a month and a half of just like rehab and trying to come back. And then 3 weeks later, like have a competition and like, you know what I'm saying, like she just has a lot of things going on and like a lot of emotions and forces going on inside of her that like not only I can understand, but you know nobody can, because she 1-on-1 and I'm 1-on-1 too. And so I know everything is happening in God's plan because obviously he's 1-on-1. And so that's really the main focus and the thing that I just wanted to say. And I know that like it's been a tough journey for her this year, but she's gonna bounce back. And like I said, I see it every day. She's the best female athlete in the world, and she's gonna be just fine. She's gonna be good, and I'm gonna be good too.
That's a good man, Savannah. Okay.
So they mess around with each other?
Yeah, that's his girlfriend. Sha'Carri is his girlfriend.
So basically what he got is a thought with talent. She just a thought. She a hood chick. It is what it is.
Why is she a thought?
Because she got an attitude problem. Look at how she carries herself. I mean, we're not gonna act crazy and act like she. Come on now. The girl fingernails as long as kitchen knives. You know she ghetto as hell. We're not gonna sit here.
Ghetto. That don't make
man.
her,
that girl ratchet as hell. She just know how to run. Okay. She got some God-given talent, and I respect her and I appreciate her for everything she's done for the, you know, the sport. But at the end of the day, she is a thought.
This is okay. To me, a thought is somebody that's a hoe. You could be not be a hoe and be ratchet.
It's all the same.
I thought it was a hoe too. I thought a thought was a hoe.
Yeah, I thought was just, and that's a good point. AD Flojo had them long nails.
Okay.
Flojo,
do y'all understand what a hoe is? A hoe is a woman that will lean to another man when she going through problems. You don't think she'll do that?
I think a hoe is somebody that sleep around with a lot of people.
Yeah, but
No.
what I'm saying is,
I
it's
think
a
I think
woman.
all women.
It's a thought is a woman. When she gets in her feelings, she runs to the arms of another man instead of healing herself. That's what a thought in the hoe is. Okay, she is all of the above. You don't think
I
that
don't.
girl? You don't think that girl give up them buns easy?
I
Nah,
don't.
I don't think so.
Nothing
think
she's
so.
done to make me think that.
She has the whole attire. So you mean to tell me if I see a bear, it's really a cat?
I'm
So
saying, go ahead, Gray.
the only controversy I really knew about her was she was smoking, so she got tested for that. And then they was talking, but that's just hood stuff. Like, she's a fast runner, like, and she just qualified to go to the Olympics in Tokyo. So, like, for me, everything I've seen about her has been about being an athlete and just like some hood stuff surrounding her. I never heard about her messing with a bunch of guys or anything like that. I just always heard her just.
That's because you don't know her. I bet
You
people
don't
that know
know
her
her.
do.
I mean,
No, listen.
I'm on Mac's side
This
with
is what I'm
this.
saying, right? This is what I'm saying. When you wear 30-inch hair, long fingernails, you got on thought attire. What am I supposed to think you is? Huh? Ladies dress like ladies, thoughts dress like thoughts. Why we acting like we don't understand this?
I think I'd have to see her dress more scantily clad for me to say she got a whole uniform on.
The hair and the nails
She
is
does.
enough.
She does. And Mac is right. I've seen pictures of her. And I'm not saying how you dress is a representation of you, but her behavior is abhorrent. Like, she's beating up her man. Like, all I heard when he was talking is, that bitch beat my ass. That's pretty much all I heard. And I'm embarrassed.
And we trying to act like we don't see this.
She got the money, so she can do whatever she wants. We wouldn't know who Christian Coleman was if he were with Sha'Carri. Like, I mean, like, yes, she has done some things, but like, I feel like most people, when they like reach a high level, it's just egotistical. Do I feel like her attire maybe not what it's supposed to be? She's young, you know, that's what young girls are doing, so she still wants to be young. Pretty sure 5-10 years from now, she won't be dressing like that.
I agree with you, Gray, and I think that's the kind of the problem with this culture. You know, we see so many young ladies do dress inappropriately, and it's just kind of like the trend. And I wish it would go away. You know, I'm not saying it's like they are wearing a hoe uniform and necessarily may not be a hoe. With me, again, I have not seen the girl dress like a hoe. I have seen the nails. I have seen the hair. I love the nails. You know, I sometimes wear long nails. My nails have never been as long as hers. Actually, that's not true. When I was younger, I wore really long nails. I just think that's kind of like a black girl thing, is the really long nails. And remember, FloJo wore them really long nails. Black girls been wearing long nails since the friggin' 80s, since I was a kid. So I'm not going to put the nails, but I get what you're saying with the hair, Mac Ball, with the colorful wigs and the whole bit. I just think she's just kind of a young girl. But I will say this, Sha'Carri, you got to keep your hands to yourself, ma'am. You got to keep your hands to yourself. Now, I got a question for the panel. I got a question for y'all. Okay, why do you think male victims get overlooked? You know, it's not taken as serious, because if this was the other way around, we know this would have been a bigger story. You know, if he was in the airport putting his hands on her. You know, why do you think male victims of domestic violence are often overlooked or not taken seriously?
I can speak from a personal story. My ex-wife, when I describe my ex-wife, people are shocked at what she looks like. But my ex-wife is extremely short, extremely petite. Like, she biracial, but she looks Spanish. Now, we got into a domestic situation.
Biracial? What kind of biracial?
Black and white.
Okay.
So I'm like, she touching me, this stuff, like, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. It's my turn. I'm calling the police. Now, I call the police. It's a girl, Spanish girl. It's a black guy. They pull up. I'm like, hey, she attacked me. Like, I'm sick of this. She walk outside. They just started laughing in my face. So who's going to call the police after that? They was like, man, you really like, they didn't say that, but their reaction was like, why are you calling us with this? So even if you contact law enforcement, they don't even care.
Okay.
See, I just want to say this, right? Two things. One, I don't know where y'all from or what the ladies look like or none of that, right? In Chicago, if that girl Sha'Carri, whatever her name is, if she was here, every man in this city would say she a thot, because that's how they look here. The behavior, all this stuff, and to speak on the double standard, it's just a double standard with women and men. This is why they get away with a lot of shit. But in Chicago, more women act like that. So if you call the police here, she's going to jail. We deal with a lot of ghetto bitches. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I can identify them because I grew up with them. I don't care what people say in the comments, none of that. In Chicago, these girls act just like that. The long hair, the long super nails, the ghetto, the cussing, the starting shit. That's common here. It is common, literally. So soon as we saw, she don't even have to open her mouth. If she got off the plane and came right on the west side of Chicago, as soon as somebody see her, she a thot. I'm trying to tell you, that's thot attire. I don't know what it looked like in y'all town, but in here, that's what it looked like. Like real shit.
I fully agree with Mac. I agree. It's a harsh reality. We need to teach our young ladies to be young ladies. And the reality is, if you carry yourself, sorry to say it, long nails, colorful hair, yelling, screaming, that's what happens. I agree with Mac fully. I wouldn't want my son to date her.
Oh no, yeah, no. I will kind of agree with you on that. As far as I wouldn't want my son to date her because she putting her hands on people. You're putting your hands on people, and I like the girl, but she does have a habit of making poor decisions. Like, girl, I understand your mom had passed. You should not have been smoking that reefer. You knew you was trying to go to the Olympics. You know,
man, she probably needed that, man. Weed calm you down. She probably,
trying
if
to go to the
smoked
Olympics
that day, she probably wouldn't have hit dude. She probably needed some weed. That's what the fuck it was.
But you trying to go to the Olympics and you know rules are rules, you know. So
but a nigga gonna be a nigga.
Well,
you know
that's
that.
what happened, and she
niggas
couldn't perform. And
you know, niggas always nigga get away with an inch, they take a mile. Now I can figure that out. I know how to smoke and still run. You know how niggas is, man.
I'm in Florida. I feel like the Florida hood girls, they more like scammers. They go have
JT.
Yeah, they go have the designer stuff. They go try to show off like they got money. So they're hood, but they kind of more trying to stunt. So I mean that's how the hood girls are here.
I think you can be a hood girl, but I think you also can have a heart of gold. I'm just like that. That's what I think. I think she's influenced by what's going around her, but I will say she is giving a little bit of knucklehead vibes. But you got a good man. That man did not press no charges on you. He didn't want nothing to happen to you. He held you down. He talking about the Lord. Get it together, Sha'Carri.
You know
why?
Looks
like you got a good one.
You know why? Because he probably got a daddy or a man figure in his life. So he know how to deal with women without crashing out. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between a man who grows up with a father. Because a nigga that grew up with it without a daddy would have beat her ass and jagged his career off. Because he had something to prove.
Yeah. Jazz is running late. She coming from the gym. I hope she makes it in time. What's going on, Jacqueline? But what he said, putting the Lord first, get it together, Sha'Carri, because there are plenty of women that will snatch that man up, and he's not a snitch. I love a person that's not a snitch, because he could have did like you did, Gray, and called the police.
I would have. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because in Chicago, it's whoever called first is the one that don't go to jail. If somebody called for a domestic and the police come out, somebody has to go to jail.
Oh, okay.
Ain't no coming out trying to figure, ain't nothing happened or no. What you call for a domestic, somebody's going to jail.
But Kelly, I would never rat. She started ratting first. So
I'm messing with you. I know you're not.
I've been in that position though. I just told the police I don't want her to go to jail. I just want her to get off my property.
Yeah, exactly.
They told me, man, somebody got to go to jail. It's gonna be you or her. I said, well, I called, so take her.
Look, Spaces made a really good comment. Spaces says this is exactly why men don't get support. Women think a good man is a man that accepts abuse. So Spaces, to what you said, I asked a poll question. The poll said, do male victims of abuse get enough support? 90% said no. 9% said yes. And clearly, you know, based off your story, Gray, that is true. This is why I say he's a good man. I liked that he did not throw her under the bus. For me, what we got going on, you know, and she was wrong. Let me be clear. She was wrong for putting her hands on him publicly, but he did not, he could have talked bad about her. He could have said stuff about her, and he did not do that. And I'm going to use an example because I try to be fair. We know what happened with, what's the man's name? The rapper that slept with his cousin, Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates was making his wife. Kevin Gates was married to Dreka for a long time, took on a whole second wife. Dreka never said nothing bad about that man. Quietly divorced him, went on with her life, you know. So for me, Dreka's a good woman. She could have said stuff about him. She never said anything. So for me, somebody that does not speak negatively about their partner in the media, that's a good person. Now if he leaves, he leaves. If old boy leaves, meaning Christian leaves, that's up to him. But he's still acting honorably. And like you said, Mac Maul probably had a father in his household to say, hey, it's not going to look good for you if you publicly bash this woman, even if she didn't put her hands on.
And on top of that, right, it looks good for the next move, because by Dreka and this young man not bashing them, if it don't work in that situation, they look good to the next person. Other than when you bash somebody, when you with them, you make people reluctant to mess with you because they like, man, you did all that shit with them. I ain't trying to deal with that shit.
Exactly.
But if you part ways peacefully, they like, okay, this is a good person. Even if it don't work, I know she'll quietly move around. Because men don't like to announce our breakups. When we love somebody and we losing our girl, we want to do that shit in silence. We don't want nobody to know we losing.
Right. Spaces says he should have just told the truth. That's being a hoe. Spaces, that's being a hoe ass nigga. Why are you crying to the internet? And I'm not even gonna pick on men. I don't like women to be hoes, you know, as far as taking stuff to the internet, crying and doing all that. Take your L's in silence, be quiet. And this the thing, he's still with the girl. So it don't even make no sense for him to publicly bash you still with her. That's stupid, you know. But I hear what you're saying, Spaces. And again, y'all could call in. Let me put the number up one more time. See, and this let me see.
I wonder how much of them just taking the abuse for the money. Because I mean, if I was him, I would be like, nah, Sha'Carri, you gotta throw me at least 10 bands. You done humiliated me. I need go ahead and transfer that to my bank account.
He's a star too, though.
He as big as her.
I don't think that a woman that has more money than you mean anything. I'm just a different type of dude. I'm gonna give her what she need. Whatever she got, gonna become mine. I'm just an alpha dude. Ain't no girl finna be treating me, because I know my power is between my legs. If she got more money than me, I know where my power is, and I'm finna give it to her and have her brain gone, and all that bank account gonna be mine. That's how you control her. You got to get her mind, man. You know, got to get her mind, dog, and the body gonna follow. Like real shit.
So
there we go.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't think the money matters to him. I agree with you, Mac, because he may not have the same level of celebrity as her, but I mean, he's a professional athlete as well. I just think he's a good guy, you know.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
Once you make here's the thing: once you make a certain amount of money and you comfortable with your life as a man, you don't give a damn who got more than you.
Right.
As long as you know you comfortable. So it's like, just say if he's a professional athlete, just say on the low ball he makes $500,000 a year. Do you really think he cares she making millions? He don't care. He's living comfortable. He got what he need. He don't look like he got no kids because he's young. So like, you know, he decent.
Yeah.
It all depends. I mean, if I'm looking at that Rolls Royce and that mansion, I might be like, hey, you know, I might have to do whatever she say.
Man, you know what? I can agree to a certain extent if you've never been there. If you never had it, it might look good to you. Oh my gosh, you got a mansion and a Rolls Royce, because I never saw it. I'm speaking obviously from my point of view. I'm up in age and I didn't saw it all. So that house and all that shit would mean nothing to me. I'll pull up in a house in a Toyota.
He's a millionaire, so it looks like his, and I'm just Googling this. It looks like his net worth is between $1 and $5 million. So
Right.
he's a 1%er.
Right.
You know, and let's see how much Sha'Carri net worth is. Sha'Carri Richardson net worth. $4 million. They're, you know, I guess same tax bracket.
Yeah,
I think he just let it go.
He got a lot of coins. I think Gray is right.
I mean, they both make money, and I think with men, when it comes to public humiliation, you really can't put too much of a because he's still a millionaire. It's not like he's a bum, you know. He's still being a millionaire. Public humiliation, people don't like that. I think he's sticking with his girl. He loved her, and he didn't want it to be a whole thing. And this is also what I think. I think for her to put her hands on him, I think he probably was cheating. I think he probably did something. I'm not saying it's right, but I think he did something, and he knows he was in the wrong, and this is what happened from it.
Man, shit. I mean, it'll look bad for him to publicly humiliate her anyway, because of the fact that when you think about sponsorships and shit, that they don't want to deal with no backstabber. That something might go wrong between them, and you gonna go air out all our dirty laundry. So I just think it was a good business move. I think it was a good move as a man and as a person. You know what I'm saying? To just, you know, tread. You know, he probably. I feel like this. If he wanted to say something negative, I think he should go to her and tell her that in her face. But the public, leave the public out of it, man, because the internet is undefeated. Once that shit get in the internet, ain't no going back.
I agree. It would not have been a good look for him to even do that. You are frozen because I thought it was just me. Let me see. Let me remove you, and come back. I'm gonna remove you, Mac Mall. You can come back. Let me see. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
All right. Yeah. Okay. So let me move on to the next topic, and this is you guys' topic. This is the new party's topic, and I have some videos here. I'm gonna play one. I don't know. I'll play the one. I don't think I want to play the one with the man, the suit, but I'm gonna play it. So basically, I put on here Governor Hot Wheels is not playing. Texas governor orders arrest for AWOL Democrats, and this story comes from Gray and Nora of the New Party. You guys are gonna talk about it later tonight, right?
No, this was our topic of the day for our show that we were planning on doing.
Okay, I'm going to talk about it later. I think me and Mika are going to go live, but let me play this clip that they sent me in. Y'all better not get my video in trouble with this language. I'm just messing with you because the fellas curse all the time.
Executive branch, they have the fucking Congress and they have the fucking Senate. They even got the fucking Supreme Court 6-3. So they have it.
Let me run it back.
This is why I always fucking tell y'all how slimy these fucking Republicans are. Here they are in fucking power. They have the executive branch, they have the fucking Congress, and they have the fucking Senate. They even got the fucking Supreme Court 6-3. So they have it fucking all. But yet, here's these slimy son of a bitches working on 2026. How are they working on 2026? Look at the state of fucking Texas. There's a thing called redrawing fucking districts. It's basically called gerrymandering. Gerrymandering basically means safe motherfucking seats or safe fucking districts are fucking redrawn to incorporate other motherfucking districts that wouldn't favor or go for them, so they would have representation to pick up extra fucking seats. Those extra 5 seats that they want to draw will sit up here and give them 5 more fucking seats in 2026, which will keep them in fucking power in Congress. Instead of letting the fucking people be represented, they'll sit up here and say, fuck the people. We'll represent you from fucking districts that y'all aren't fucking represented in.
Okay, so that's that, and I have another something else to share in regarding to this, and so this is what's going on now in regards to this whole redistricting. Do I have it? Yes, redistricting. redistricting. And this is going on in Texas. It has now come out that Texas House Democrats were colluding with billionaire J.B. Pritzker. He is the governor of Chicago, to prevent the Texas House from achieving a quorum. The secret meetings began the month before Greg Abbott announced this special session. So I have another little clip really clear, because I know this is maybe a little bit difficult to follow, but basically in Texas, they are redrawing the maps, and every 5 years or so, they're able to do this. They're able to take a look at the map and do redistricting. In 2 Democrat seats, 5 seats are probably going to be forfeited to the Republicans, but this is what's important, you guys. They are not breaking any laws. This is in the Texas Constitution, and I hate to play this game. This is Democrats are known, and I'm really trying to be unbiased as giving this, because I know we have folks watching on the right and the left, but this is something that's not exclusive to the right. Actually, more Democrats do it. I live in a state that has a redistrict and does not get proper representation in Congress. There are plenty of counties in Maryland that are red, yet only, I want to say, 8 of our 10 congressional seats in Congress are blue. So this is not something new. Illinois is known for redistricting in the Democrats' favor. A multitude of states do this. And, nevertheless, my point is, this is not illegal. This is in their constitution, and they have the right to do this every 5 years. And I have a little clip really quick where we have the governor speaking on this. And then I'm going to let the new party, I'm going to kind of be quiet on this one. I'm going to let the new party and Mac Mall give their thoughts. Okay, so this is from Fox News, and this is Governor Greg Abbott.
Anyway, here with breaking news, the very latest from Austin is Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Governor, when I looked, I have a whole sheet here of every single Democratic state, and it's just like the examples I put up there. They have gerrymandered their states left, right, sideways. They're saying, well, they're gonna do to their states what you're doing in Texas. They already did it in all of these blue states. Frankly, Republicans should have caught up a long time ago.
Well, Sean, first of all, Texas is doing what we are allowed to by the law. And one reason why that law exists the way that it does is because the Democrats brought a lawsuit after our last redistricting, and that decision and that lawsuit came out last year. And that lawsuit recognized that coalition districts are not required. And so Texas has a right to redraw these lines to fully represent the desires of every voter in the state. But Sean, that misses the point here. The point here is that Democrats have done something that's very un-Texan. They've turned their backs on their fellow Texans. When it came to a fight, they turned and ran away, not just from this redistricting fight, they ran away from dealing with the flooding issues that are still echoing across the Kerrville area. Families desperately need results from the state legislature in this 30-day special session that are not going to be delivered because Democrats are hanging out in Chicago and New York and other places.
Yeah. All right. Let me run through the states. California, Republicans, 39% of the House vote, but they only have 17% of the seats. Connecticut, Republicans, 40% of the House vote, 0 seats, none, zip. Illinois, 2024, Republicans, they got a pretty respectable 47% of the statewide vote, 18% of House seats. Maryland, one of the bluest states, Trump gets 35%, but they only have 12% of House seats. Massachusetts, again, 0 House seats. Nevada is even worse. Republicans win the state. They won the state House by 10 points, walked away with 1 single House seat in the entire state. That's it. So this has been the practice of these states for the longest period of time. Now they want to attack you. And I'm thinking, okay, what you're doing is exactly what they did.
Okay.
Well, and not even that, Sean. To be honest, the Texas maps are not going to be as extreme as those other blue states that you talked about. But another thing, and that is what Texas is doing under these new maps. 4 of the 5 new seats will be a majority Hispanic seats. One of the seats is going to restore the Barbara Jordan seat over in the Houston area. And so these are seats where Democrats are having to come to grips with the reality. And that is, they are now losing the votes of Hispanics and Black voters in the state of Texas. And these districts are going to show that Hispanics and Blacks, as well as others, are voting for Republican, and Republican is their candidate of choice. And we will ensure that will be achieved at the congressional level in the state of Texas.
Okay, so I'll speak a little bit more on this, and I hope you guys are following, because this is it's a little difficult to follow. So anyway, back to what he was saying as far as the redistricting, what's going to happen with drawing these maps. Currently, they have the maps drawn where basically they're putting all the Black people together. It's weird, like they'll have all the Black people together, and they're kind of deleting or removing the having all the Black people in one district for representation. So, basically like what Greg Abbott was saying, just because people are Black doesn't mean they're voting this way, doesn't mean they're voting, this way. And even in Texas, a lot of the white people in one particular district, let me silence my phone, y'all, I'm sorry. In Texas, a lot of the white people voted for a Black representative, which was Wesley Hunt, who was a conservative. And, so that's, for me, I like the idea of not grouping people together for race representation. That's my opinion on it. But again, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Gray, Nora, and then Mac. You guys tell me your thoughts on, Greg Abbott issuing his arrest for these Democrats that have gone AWOL in Texas.
You explained it very well. As far as gerrymandering, the world should just change Jerry to N-word mandering, because that's where it came from. It came from separating Blacks and taking away their representation because they mostly vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So with what they're doing in Texas, Greg Abbott is right that they're making it where it's more Hispanics, but those particular Hispanics voted right, but they're bleeding Hispanic support, so that might backfire on them. So they are trying to draw the map so they have more Republicans, representation. So he said that, but you're supposed to be fair.
Okay. Nora?
Yeah, and the thing is this, I agree that they should not have not showed up. I don't agree with them leaving and fleeing and not coming to vote. However, my concern is this. I do care about minority communities, and I do care about their vote counting. And if they're redistricting, they're trying to silence the vote, and I don't support that. However, what we do need to realize is Texas population has changed. When COVID hit, Florida, Texas were the top two states where everyone came to. So it is time to redistrict and draw up the map. However, we need to ensure that it's being done fairly, because again, I don't want minority votes to be silenced.
Okay, Mac Mole.
So let me get this straight. So y'all basically saying that they try to divide the city up into a particular Democrat or Republicans is what y'all saying, and they're not going off of color, they're going off of votes, or they are going off of color.
Population,
yeah.
It's a combination of things, but mainly the purpose of it is more people have moved into the state, which is fair, and so now it's time for them to redraw up the lines of the state.
Oh, okay. Well, me personally, how I feel when it comes to politics, I think that Black people should stick together. I know it's not going to happen. We all have our own separate mind states and where we feel. But I think that ultimately we all should come together and feel the same way, because it's powers in numbers, And if we want anything to happen for us, I believe that if all us got on one accord, things would be a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? So, but, we have things like politics, religions, a whole bunch of things that separate us. So, I don't think that will ever happen in my lifetime. But ultimately, separation can be good, I mean, people are allowed freedom of speech, freedom of thought, so you're allowed to do what you want to do, So, I mean, I guess how they playing it, the best man win. What it seemed like to me, what I heard from y'all, it seemed like they trying to say that the Republicans are trying to manipulate the numbers. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they're trying to. That's exactly what they're trying to say, but it kind of goes to back what you were saying before the show. For me, this is politics, folks. who's ever in power, they're going to do what's best for them to stay in power. The Democrats have done it in multiple states with the redistricting. Right now, the Republicans, they're using this law because, again, they're not breaking the law. They're using it to their advantage. You know, they're saying, hey, we have flipped a lot of counties in Texas. Right now, let's capitalize on this momentum. It's within our rights to redistrict. So let's go ahead and do this so we can win the midterms. I'm not mad at it because if the Democrats could do it, they would have did the same thing.
My thing is this, though, right? I mean, I don't understand what's the big deal about voting this way or that way. If you're my age or you're up in age and you have voted at least 3 times, if you have voted at least 3 times, you should see what's in front of you. And what I mean by that is this. Look at how the world is when we have a Democratic Party, and look at how the world is when we have a Republican Party. Every time since the 80s, since Bush, Reagan, every time that Republicans are in office, everybody is doing good. The streets doing good. Corporate America is doing good. The crime rate goes down when people make money. It's obvious. When Democrats get in office, the murder rates go up. People are broke. I mean, just think, look what's going on when we had Obama. People went broke.
Look, I'm a conservative.
But look, when we had Bill Clinton, everybody went to jail. See, Bill Clinton with the 3-strike rule and all that, he implemented something that was detrimental to the hood, because what happened was in the hood,
the 94 crime bill. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what happened is in the hood, when we was coming up and we was in gangs, we had what they call chiefs and leaders and elites, right? They kept us in order. We couldn't sell drugs, and we had to go to school first. They would not let us ditch school to hustle. Okay, that's number one. They had order amongst young men. When those bills came and they locked up all the chiefs and all the meat, they was giving, with the crack, they was 3-striking them out, and they were sending all of the people who kept the streets in order to jail for 30 years. Now, fast forward to today, you have a bunch of kids that had kids with no leadership, and this is why everybody's killing each other. Point I'm trying to make is this. Even though the PPP was a bad thing, guess what happened when everybody got them $20,000, which was given to us by Republicans? Guess what they did? They stopped crime. Everybody was having fun because they had money in their pocket. Wasn't nobody dying. I don't know how y'all city was, but Chicago people die a lot here. When them 20,000s came around, crime rate went down just like that. Instantly. Everybody was buying bottles. They had the club in sections. They buying cars. Everybody bought their Cuban chains with the charms on them. Man, people buying the little man purses and designer shoes. With the Louis line downtown was around the corner. And anybody on this live from Chicago, downtown, every designer in the Chicago area was sold out. Everybody was having a good time. Now you get him out, and you get the other Democrat. He comes in after Trump. Everybody's broke now. Everybody back broke.
Look, you're not wrong. Crime has gone down significantly. I talked about it here on the show on DPMO, and y'all, look, this is not even a partisan thing. These illegal aliens really were committing crimes, and y'all, even if y'all are on the right, even if you're on the left, these illegals were really committing crimes. 1 million of them are gone. I don't think it's a coincidence that crime is down. I mean, and y'all can hate Trump, and that's fine. Them illegals was committing crimes, y'all. The numbers don't lie.
I got shot by one last year.
What?
Yeah,
there you go.
The one of some Venezuelans hopped out on me while I was pissing. I had just got out of work and missed my stop. I meant to go in the gas station, but I'm on YouTube watching the damn phone and missed my stop. So I just pulled on a random block. Man, they pulled up on my ass like they was following me. 3 of them little bitty motherfuckers jumped out on me, man. Pulled the gun out on me, man. We tussling. I wound up taking the gun from them, but it went off and shot me in the damn foot.
Hey, I'm glad you're okay.
I'm glad they getting their ass up out of here. All their ass need to go.
That's what I'm saying.
They needs to go. Like I'm used to crime, but where I got shot at, it don't nothing. I live in the suburbs around white people now. I don't live in the hood. What is you even doing out here? Take your ass to the hood with that shit. Why is you in my neighborhood shooting people? I don't like that.
Look, Paco said it. MS-13s where I live, it was a ton of MS-13s. They've been here for a minute. You got Trender Agua where you was at. That is true. And in Texas, they got low tolerance. Am I wrong, Gray, Nora? And I really want to hear from Gray because you be telling the truth on this illegal stuff too, Gray. Am I lying when I say Texas was not playing about them illegal aliens? Am I? Because I could be wrong.
No, and I always tell Gray that we have a unique benefit of being in Florida. Everybody talks about DeSantis, and I understand their reasons why. I agree with some of them, but nevertheless, we've been we're sheltered in Texas and Florida because they crack down. ICE has been cracking down for years now. It wasn't a new thing.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Look, Regina says crime has not gone down.
No,
Regina,
it went down when Trump was in
naturally.
office. It went down when Trump was in office. As soon as our last president got in, it went back up. That's what I was saying. Crime went down when Trump gave out them PPP loans. His whole term,
and it's gone down since he's been in office. Since January, and I get what she's saying. She's still seeing crime. I get that, but if you look at the numbers, as far as GUN violence, certain things, it has gone down. These kids are still running amok
as a whole, as
a whole nationwide.
There's definitely people still dying in Chicago. It's a page called Legal Help Firm that's on Facebook and Instagram. They post all the killings from Chicago, and that page stay full every day. 3, 4, 5 people, kids and all. Man, Chicago rough, man. That's why I had to get the hell up out of there, man.
I want to bring this up to you, Matt Maul, because it's 4 black mayors getting credit for crime going down. That's Eric Adams in New York City, Karen Bass in Los Angeles, Brandon Scott in Baltimore, and Brandon Johnson in Chicago. So Brandon Johnson's actually got a lot of credit for the crime going down in Chicago. I don't know if you heard about that.
Absolutely not. We do not like that nigga here. Absolutely not. That nigga then turned his back on all us, and he helping immigrants. I don't know where you got that shit from. That nigga turned his back on us. Now, I don't know too much about politics, but I'm friends with people that talk about that nigga a lot. They do not like his ass here. He gets they can't wait to get this nigga out of office. I'm trying to tell you.
They because of the illegals.
This nigga closed all our schools down and said he didn't have no money for our schools and gave all that money to the immigrants.
And $1 billion. I want to say they're $1 billion. They got $1 billion in debt due to these illegal immigrants. And again, Trender Agua. He said he was in Chicago. Trender Agua. I think it was Tom Homan getting them illegals up out of there, and he was fighting Brandon Jackson was fighting to keep those illegals there. So
yes, he said he was going against Trump because Trump was sending ISIS here, and he said he came out on the news and said something about he not honoring it.
Yeah.
Like you fighting for them more than us. Damn, what did you do that?
Right.
I remember my bad, Kelly.
Go ahead.
I remember when that happened. But Kelly was asking a question about Florida. I didn't want to miss it. You were saying something about immigrants in Florida or something.
No, I said because I know y'all. I was asking about Texas, but I think Florida, y'all don't play. Y'all's Taisha. Let me know in the chat. Y'all don't play that. I don't think it's a ton of illegals in Florida because they get them up out of there.
They got enough Haitians in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's a high immigrant population here, so I think
legal immigrant though, right?
Right, and it's probably because of geography. Because the only time we had people really coming in that I remember is when people was coming from Cuba. You remember the little boy we was young that came on a tire because they got to come in from a boat to get here. It's not like they can.
Alien.
Yeah. That was back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like
under Clinton.
It's not like they can come on land.
But see, I don't have a problem with people coming over here illegally. I got a problem with them coming over here starting shit. If you're going to be a good citizen and you're going to contribute to the United States of America, I'm okay with you coming here. But if you're going to come over here on that bullshit, now, man, you need to stay where you at. We got enough of them over here already.
The problem is when they come over here illegally, they came in undetected. That's the ones running amok. And to be clear, I agree with Mac. We need to delineate the word delineate from those that are here illegally and legally, because ones here legally are following the processes to be here legally. The ones here illegally are skating by and causing problems, and they think that they don't need to comply with the system. And that's the issue I have.
Got you.
I think one of the big issues is the drug trade, is that, cartels and all these types of overseas gangs that are able to create and manufacture stuff, bring that over here, and then that gang culture is coming here where they're moving products, because Americans are the biggest consumers of these illegal substances.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up some of a TikTok. Okay, because somebody put something in the chat, Raven, and before we run this out, because like I said, we gotta close the show out. But Raven says, I have a few. Oh no, that's not the question. Hold on, Raven. You had another question. Raven said, I was reading something about Florida, and they are capturing them, and the conditions they have them in is horrible. Well, I'll say this, Raven. You know what's horrible? Prison's horrible. And those people committed a crime, so I don't really have any sympathy for them. But I do want you to see what Alligator Alcatraz looks like. So I'm going to pull it out.
Somebody has a cell phone inside of Alligator Alcatraz, and they've been releasing proof of the conditions in there. And I'm going to have to show you, because you guys would not believe this if I told you. So this is the chow hall, and they're literally making human beings eat at tables that have tablecloths on them, and the food, all the maggots in the food. I mean, would you look at this? Like, that doesn't even look edible. That's crazy. And not just the quality of the food, but these portions. I mean, who could survive off of that? Meanwhile, if you're an American citizen and you're sitting in county jail waiting on your due process, or you're doing your sentence in prison, they could be feeding you like this, or whatever in the hell this is. Or this one. I've eaten this one many times. And y'all fell for this and got all up in your pretty pig feelings and started calling this alligator.
Okay. So it's a brand new facility. It's a brand new facility. It's not going to be run down. It's not going to be stinky. It's a brand new facility. That food looks like, I don't know, friggin' school lunch to me. And I watch a lot of police crimes. What is it? Love After Lockup. What is it? Locked Up. I don't know if y'all remember Locked Up, but them prison shows. That food looked way better than what I've seen Americans eating in prison. And I don't know. You should have stayed home. Shouldn't have crossed the border. I don't give a damn about those people.
That's not the only clips. They have them living in tents. We're going to play other things tonight.
You know who else
the
was
only
living
place
in
they're
tents?
living.
Prisoners in Arizona, Tent City. Y'all remember in Maricopa County. So I just go home. You should have stayed. If you took the $1,000 like you should have, you wouldn't be in Alligator Alcatraz. Because I know if I cut up, they're going to lock me up. They ain't got no problem locking me up if I was at my job, if I was at my graduation. But we supposed to have sympathy for these illegal immigrants. I got a hard stance on these illegals. And I just think this is something everybody should agree on. Left, right, because if any American citizen, we break the law, we are held accountable. They don't give a crap about, arresting Gray at his job, or Nora at her job, or Mac Mall at his daughter's graduation, or whatever. They don't give a crap. I don't give a crap about these people. They're not supposed to be here. And there'll be a cold day in hell before I have sympathy for an illegal alien that should have went home. That took $1,000 to go home.
What's the alligator thing? What is that? I missed it. What was it? They feeding them the alligators?
No.
It's surrounded by the Everglades, so they're building basically a prison for illegals surrounded by alligators. So if they try to escape, they get ate by alligators.
Shit, what's wrong with that? We'll get shot. You escape here, you gonna get shot. So what's wrong with that? I don't see nothing wrong with it.
So my question to y'all is this. So say I'm an illegal immigrant, right? And I messed up. I came over here. I was just looking for a job. So now I see what Trump is doing. And I go to my local police department. Hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did this. I was 13. Now I'm 25. Can I just get a ticket back to Cambodia? Do I get a ticket back, or should I go to prison? Or to Alligator Alcatraz?
He gave them the chance, and 1 million of them self-deported.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, 1 million self-deported. Look, we coming up on the 1 hour mark. I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. And I definitely appreciate my panelists for being here. The fellas will be back tomorrow, and I'm going to drop in the chat Mac Mall's channel, which is Not the Shop Podcast. Y'all go ahead and give them a follow, subscribe, and in fact, let me pull it up. Not the Shop Podcast so y'all can see. And I'm going to put in the New Party's channel as well. Okay, there it is. So this is Mac Mall's podcast. Mac Mall hosts a panel show on Monday, and you said you do interviews, and it's a really cool channel. You guys go ahead and check it out, and then you guys could also check out Nora, Christine, and Gray on the New Party. And let me pull that up. And again, they have a show that has folks on the left, the right, and independents, and in the middle, and apolitical people as well. So they really cover the gambit. They have the Man Show on Mondays and Wednesdays, and you guys, typically they go live about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, that is it for the show, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Bye.
Peace.
Quite frankly, this is the best morning show I have ever heard. Let's make YouTube great again.